Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope all of you are well. I am also well by the grace of my Lord. My dear students, you know that a pandemic situation is going on in full swing. So we all have to be very much careful and conscious. Unless we, the common people, become conscious and careful about maintaining the health guidelines, it will never be possible for us to stop the spread of COVID-19. That's why I'm once again going to remind you of maintaining all the health guidelines and following all the precautionary measures. My dear learners, I am Shahriar Ahmed, your English teacher, welcoming you to our online English class. Dear learners, today I would like to talk about the subjects of that question. In the previous class, I also talked about the subjects and the auxiliary verbs and modal verbs. But today, mostly I would like to focus on the way of selecting the subject as the answers for that question. In a sequence of the rules of that question, today we are going to start from rule number 4. My dear learners, as I told you in my last class, that this class could be the class on the selection of the subject for that question. I want you to pay your full attention. Today our topic is tag question. Dear learners, in my previous class, I taught you how to answer the simple tag questions. But today, I'm going to talk about the subjects. In a sequence of the rules from the previous class, I think it will be rule number 4. I may be mistaken, but so far I can remember in your previous class it was rule number 3, so we will start from rule number 4. Dear learners, you can see question, this is answer. There are some techniques of selecting the subjects for answering the tag question. There is a set of words that take only they as the subject for tag question's answer. Let's see. Nobody, somebody, anybody, everybody. So my dear learners, you can see I have written down here several subjects: nobody, somebody, anybody, everybody. Okay. If in the question paper, if you find these words as the subject, in place of subject in the answer, you will write down only they. Only they. I just want to make you understand that while answering that question, if you find nobody, somebody, anybody and everybody, okay, in the question as the subject, then in the answer of that question you will write down they instead of these words. Okay, let's see an example. Suppose This is an example. Everybody everybody is present. My dear learners, you can see this is an example. Everybody is present. Here you can see we have a subject, everybody. So whenever you will see this type of body, everybody, anybody, somebody, nobody, as the subject of the given question, instead of these subject, you will write down here they. They. Now you can see an auxiliary verb appears. In my last class, I told you that whatever the auxiliary verb is, it has to be written at the place of answer. But here you can't do that because is not suitable for the word they. Since we have they here, so you have to write down are. There is no negative word, so you have to add in not here. So the answer will be aren't they. Everybody is present. The tag question of it will be aren't they. Now you can raise a question that sir, here there is no are, so where did you get it from? In this case, you have to remember that whenever the subject of the given question, in the case of tag question, will be body, then its subject in the place of answer will be they. If it is they, then they doesn't go with the auxiliary verb is. So you have to write down an auxiliary verb that matches with the subject. So you have to write down aren't they. So you have to remember all these words. These 4 words always will be replaced by they at the time of writing down the answer to the tag question. I'm giving you some time for you to copy. So my dear learners, I think you have understood this rule. We are going to the next rule, okay? Rule number 5. Again, question, your answer. Again, there is another series of words like no one, none, anyone, everyone, someone. Dear learners, in this column of words, you can see one thing is common, that is one. Here there is one, here one. So this is a very easy technique for you to remember these words. So these 5 words, namely no one, none, anyone, everyone, someone. Whenever you will find any one of these words as the subject of the given question, okay, in the question of tag, then instead of all these words, you will write down they in the answer. They. In the previous rule, I mean rule number 4, I told you that the 4 words ended with the word body. There I wrote down nobody, okay, anybody, everybody, somebody. Here you can see all these words are ending with one. No one, none, anyone, everyone, someone. So you will remember that if any word, okay, ending with one sits as the subject of the given questions, instead of those words you will write down they in the answer. This is a very simple rule. Let's see another example. If I write down everyone is present, you can see everyone is present, okay. Everyone is present, this is the question. So we can see that the subject in the question is everyone. So we cannot write down everyone, okay, in the place of answer instead of everyone. So according to the rule 5, we have to write down they instead of everyone. So we can say the words that will end with one, okay, will be replaced by they in the answer if they are used as the subject in the given question or text. Okay, so we will use they instead of everyone. Now let's see the auxiliary verb is. You know, is doesn't go with they, so we have to use such an auxiliary verb that goes with they. So we know instead of is we have to use here are. Since are, this verb are goes well with the subject they, and there is no negative word here, so we have to write down contracted form of not. So the answer will be aren't they. I'm giving you some time for you to understand, and I also want you to copy. If you have any problem, you have to remember all these 5 words that end with one. Okay, in this way you remember if any word ends with one, okay, will be replaced by they while writing down the answer to the text question. This is an easy way for you to remember all these words. Okay. So my dear learners, let's move to the next rule. This is rule number 6. Again question, and another section is answer. Here we will write down again a set of words like nothing, anything, something, everything. My dear learners, you can see I have written down a set of 4 words. Each of the words ends with thing, with a very common syllable thing, thing. So you will remember in this way, if any word ends with thing, then instead of these words we will write down it in the place of answer of that question. My dear learners, you have to remember these words: nothing, anything, something, everything. Here all the words end with thing. So whenever you will find any word as the subject of the given question in the question of tag, then you will write down it in the place of answer instead of all these words. Okay? It will be clearer to you if I write down an example. If I write down everything is fine. Everything is fine. So you can see here the given question starts with the subject everything. The word everything also ends with thing. So instead of this word, we will write down it as the answer. Okay, it will be followed by a question mark. So instead of this word, we have written down it. Okay, so you have to remember, whenever you will find any word ending with thing, then you will write down it. Now let's see the auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb is. So is goes well with the subject it. So we will write down here is. There's no negative word here in the question, so we will write down another contracted form of not. So the answer is on it. So the answer is on it. My dear learners, I am giving you again some time for you to understand and copy if you need. So my dear learners, I think you have understood these three rules. In the first rule, I have written down 4 words, all of them end with body. Whenever you will see any word as the subject of the given question, you will use they instead of those words. In the next rule, I talked about 5 words ending with one. Instead of those words, you will write down they in the place of answer of tag question instead of. In the third rule, rule number 6, I have written down a set of 4 words. Each of the words ends with the syllable thing. So whenever you will see this type of words ending with thing as the subject of the given question, instead of these words, you will write down it as the answer of the tag question. So my dear students, I hope you have understood whatever I have wanted to say. In the next class, we will talk about some more rules that will help you to understand the way of selecting subjects of tag question. Dear learners, before I end the class, I would like to remind you once again to follow the health guidelines. If you need to go out, you must put on the masks, and we'll try your best to wash your hands with detergent and soap. Besides, you will try your best to avoid any kind of public gathering. That's all for today. Allah Hafiz.